So we're gonna get started with our second round of annotations. So we're gonna be working on the answers here. And it's the same passage that you guys saw last week. So you might be a little bit more familiar with this one, but the questions are different. The steps, however, are completely the same. So while you're doing these questions, the steps to answer them correctly is still the same. So the first thing we do, skip all the text, always. Skip it. We don't want to read it first. So number 1, according to scientist 1, which one of the statements is correct? So that means which one has evidence in the passage. Okay, so ball lightning is a cloud of ionized water vapor, network of silicon-based nanoparticles, 0.3 seconds, and does not require lightning strike to form. So let's figure this out. So I'm going to go to scientist 1. Okay, I'm going to go to scientist 1, that's here. Ball lightning is formed by a network of silicon-based nanoparticles. So I know that matches answer choice B. Let's see if that's the best one. They cool, releases heat and light, nanoparticle network. Yeah, so I'm going to say that this one has a direct quote in the passage. So, ball lightning is formed by, I'm not going to write the rest of the quote in interest of your time, but that has a direct quote here. So I can cross off A, I can cross off C, and I can cross off D because there was a direct quote. All right, number 7. Which of the following statements is best supported by scientist 2's view? So I'm going to be matching the key terms to scientist 2. So water catalyzes the reaction between silicon and oxygen. Water reacts with SiO2 to form nanoparticle networks. Hydrogen and oxygen are transformed into other elements. Or water reacts to form a positive and a negative ion. So ball lightning is formed by ionized H2O. When lightning strikes, it breaks H2O into ions through the following chemical reaction. H2O turns to positive and to negative. So I know that the answer choice is D right off the bat because of the equation. The equation can actually be my direct quote. Okay? Now, how do you eliminate the other ones? How do I eliminate these two? These two can be crossed off because scientist 2 does not say silicon or oxygen in these two. And he never mentions it, or she never mentions it. All right, number 8. Which of the following conclusions is not supported by scientist 1's explanation? So this means is we want no evidence in the passage. So something that's not mentioned. Okay, ball lightning leaves behind physical evidence of its occurrence. Ball lightning formation requires large amounts of energy. Ball lightning's cage-like network has been successfully recreated. Ball lightning reaches extremely high temperatures. So let's find these. What do we not have? So the lightning strike heats the soil to several thousand degrees. All right, so we know that D is out because it's mentioned in the passage. Let's see. Solids, nanoparticles are formed. They link together from chains. Cage-like network that traps hot Si and SiO gases. This resulting structure is ball lightning. As it cools, it releases heat and light, which gives it its brightness. In the process, film forms. Film slows the reaction. Laboratory experiments have successfully created. So these have been successfully created. So I can cross off answer choice C for this one. So now I'm between A and B. All right, now, although so far experiments have not been able to produce a full nanoparticle network. So let's see, which one is not mentioned? Okay. What does it say? So ball lightning is formed when lightning strikes the ground. It energizes the particles in the soil. So does it require large amounts of energy? Oh, excuse me, I apparently need to give myself lots of amounts of energy. And ball lightning leaves behind physical evidence. Okay. Well, this one right here, it gives it its brightness. That's physical evidence. That shows you that you can see it. So can you see lightning? Yes, you can. So the answer to 8 is B. Actually, no. Gotcha. Okay, so I lied to you. The answer is not B for this one, because it does say that it energizes this. The answer is actually C, because I didn't finish reading the question. So if you didn't finish reading the question, don't feel bad, because I did the same thing. So laboratory experiments have been, although so far, have not been able to produce a full network. So I lied to you. The answer to 8 is C, because it said laboratory have successfully created, but it says they have not been able to make a full network. So the quote says not been able to produce ... And it goes on from there. So the answer to number 8 is actually C. Okay, because it says that we've made the chain, but we haven't made the cage. And that's an important distinction. So that question is actually really hard because it tries to throw you off. So, and then that means that B is your distractor. Okay, number 9. Scientists who would not agree with which of the following statements. So scientist 2 is where we look, and not agree, that means we don't want it mentioned, so no mention, or it disagrees. Okay, hot SI and SiO gases are less dense than air. Hot Si and SiO gases are more dense than air. So ionized H2O has approximately the same density as air, and ionized H2O is less dense than hot Si and SiO gases. So, do you see how these two answer choices are the same? Almost, except for one word. So they're almost the same, right? And these two are very similar, but they're not as identical. So I can cross off C and D because they're not my identical answer choices. So it's going to be between these two. So now let's figure it out. Scientists who would not agree with which of the following statements. So, energy in the form of light, slowed by a hydration sphere, blah, blah, blah. This explains why it lasts for several seconds. Laboratory experiments have produced balls of ionized H2O lasting up to blah, blah, blah. Because heated gas rises. So heated gas rises. If ball lightning were formed from trapped Si and SiO gases, it would be observed to rise from the ground immediately and sink during cooling. However, hovering ball lightning has been observed. Ionized H2O's density is similar to that of air. Oh, so we can definitely cross that out because it is mentioned for number C, which allows it to remain suspended. So scientist 2 would not agree with which of the following statements. So here we go. Because heated gas rises, if ball lightning were formed from trapped Si and SiO gases. So hot Si and SiO gases are less dense than air. It would be observed to rise from the ground. So that means that the answer choice is B. Right, so it would not agree with that because it talks about the gases rising. And in addition, it doesn't think that it's from hot Si and SiO gases at all. So there are two reasons that B is the answer. The first is scientist 2 does not think that Si and SiO create ball lightning. And the second is because when they're talking about it right here, it says the gas would rise in the air, which means it's less dense. So there's 2 reasons for that one. And the last question, number 10. Scientist 1 would most likely agree that SiO2 reacts to form 2 different gases during ball lightning formation. They condense to form large SiO2 crystals. SiO2 reacts with H2O. So H2O is not mentioned. There's no H2O. So I can cross off answer choice C. All right, SiO2 particles are transformed into pure energy. So it energizes the particles, right? But it doesn't say that it's pure energy. So we can cross off that one. So it never says pure energy. And the last one, SiO2 gas condenses to form large SiO2 crystals. Does it say crystals? No. No crystals. And so when I use this one, I'm going to do process of elimination. So I would be like, B is wrong because C is wrong because, and go from there. And that's that.